Hi guys. So I'm making this video to tell you guys a story about an Instagram comedian. I'm not gonna say his name, but if you watch my last live stream, you know exactly who I'm talking about. But I'm gonna give him a different name. I am going to call him Frozo. I know I've used that name before, but this is a different person. So anyway, so after I had broken up with my daughter's father, Jamar, I gave myself some time to heal. I was already over the relationship. That first night that I left him, I slept so good. I was so relieved. It was an overall good ass feeling after I left him, pretty much. So, couple of months later, I started, dipping my toe into dating, and I was on a dating website, and I came across Frozo. And I knew who Frozo was because I was a fan of his. I watched his videos all the time. So I assumed that whoever was running this page was a catfish because, to my knowledge, Frozo did not live anywhere in Miami. So I was like, okay, so this has to be a fake page. So I wrote the person and I was like, you're fake. This ain't real. Frozo ain't got no damn. Frozo ain't in no damn Miami. And so he was like, oh wow, it's really me though. And I said, I don't believe you. So he was like, give me your number and I'll show you that it's really me. So I'm like, I don't know about all that. He was like, I'm telling you, it's really me. So I gave him my number and he said, tell me to take a picture in some intricate type of way. So I was like, all right, take a picture holding up a peace sign. And so he took a picture holding up a peace sign. And I was like, you could have found that on his Instagram or something like that. I said, take a picture holding up the number 4. So he took a picture holding up the number 4. And I was like, oh my God, it's really him. And so then he called me on video chat. And he was like, you got me out here looking stupid as fuck. And he was like, people just staring at me all crazy and shit. You just got me out here looking real stupid. And I was like, I am very surprised that it's actually you. Like, I'm a fan of your videos. And, I never thought that you lived in Miami. And he was like, oh, I've been down here for about a year now. And I was like, oh, okay. And so he was like, so when are we hooking up? Like, when we going to lunch and da 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 da. I'm like, you interested in me? And he was like, yes, like, you're gorgeous and blah blah blah, all that whatever. And I was like, I kind of put it off, like, I didn't think that I was good enough to talk to him. One, because I was extremely self-conscious about my body. This was before my weight loss. I was very self-conscious about, me being a fat girl and who he was, okay? It just didn't seem like he was interested in my type. But he very much does like big girls. But I didn't know that. I didn't know that, all the women that he works with in his videos are a little bit on the thicker side, or on the smaller side. They're very curvy. They're not so much big girls. Some of them are, but not too many of them. So it was like I was, scared that I wasn't good enough for him. So I kept putting it off. And then one day he was like, let's do lunch. So, we had been texting here and there, getting to know each other and stuff. And um, he was like, let's do lunch. So I was like, all right, I get off work at 9:30. Um, we can meet a little bit after that. So I went to the mall because that was like the closest thing that I was comfortable to. Um, and I was sitting there waiting, and I'm looking around. I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm about to go on a date with Frozo. Like, this is crazy. So I was scared, like actually seeing him in person. I was really scared. And then when he got there, he was like, hey, like he knew me from, forever. He just instantly like was, hey, and he gave me a hug and a kiss on the cheek. And I was like, hi, like kind of nervous or whatever because of who he was, and me watching his videos for so many years. Like, I had been a fan of his. So we start talking about video games and stuff like that. And then this random woman commented and was like, is this you guys' first date? And we were like, yeah. She's like, I like it. I think it's going great. You two are so cute. And I was like, what? Where'd that come from? Anyway, so now I have IBS, right? So on this date, I wasn't planning on eating nothing because I didn't want to have him take me out to a place or whatever, and then I eat, and then I have to blow up the freaking mall toilet. Okay. So I lied to him and I told him I had ate before that because I do that um sometimes when I'm on like dates with people I don't really know like that, because my stomach real funny. I have IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. So I just was like, I ate before. I ate already. And so he was like, all right. So I just got a drink. And I was going to pay for my stuff, but he paid for it. And so then we went outside and sat down and we talked. And he told me that he likes bikes and stuff like that. And then I told him about my YouTube channel. Um, and I was like, it's so weird, talking to you because I have been watching you for years, like since you first started making videos. So it's like, it's so weird actually seeing you in front of me and we're talking. And he was like, um, like you're a very beautiful woman, and I'd like to get to know you more and things of that nature. So I was really, really like nervous because I just didn't feel like I was good enough for him, if that makes sense. Like I was really nervous. So at the end of the day, he walked me to my car and he saw like all my Batman stuff and he was like, wow, like you really like Batman. I was like, yeah. And he's like, my dad likes Batman. I was like, oh. And that was another thing too. Like, I felt the connection with him. because he had so many things in common with my grandpa. So I felt like it was some type of sign. I was like, I don't know, what is this? He has so much in common with my grandpa. So he goes to hug me at the end of the date, and then he kisses me on the lips. And I pulled away and, turned my head. And he laughed, and I was like, I'm just, this is like, this is this is strange. Like, you're frozo. It's just strange. And so he was like, I really like you. And then he's like, we should do this again. And I was like, okay. So when I got in the car to leave, I was like, he kissed me. Oh my God, he kissed me. So, my self-consciousness kind of went out the window a little bit. It toned down some. So that next day we went on another date. He was around the area, and then he was like, let's go for ice cream. No, he said, let's go for coffee. And we ended up going for ice cream instead. And so when I got there, um, I was like, God, look at him. He's so fine. That's what I kept thinking. I was like, he is so fine. And I just thought he was just so handsome. Like, he had the broad shoulders, and I just thought he was so handsome. Like, so we get the ice cream, and sorry if y'all hear snoring. That is my service dog. Okay, that is my service dog, Luna. She snores, so if you hear snoring, that's what that is. Anyway, so he hugged me again, and he was talking about, aren't you hot? Because I had on like long sleeves and stuff like that. I didn't want to put my jacket. I always wear a jacket, right? Because I was self-conscious about my body at this time. Um, so I didn't want to wear a jacket because it was kind of hot. So I wore long sleeves and long jeans. And he was like, "You not hot?" And I was like, "No." And I was. So we went and had ice cream and talking some. He was holding my hand, hugging me, kissing me, stuff like that. And I felt really good with him. Like, I felt a really good connection. That's pretty much it. So anyway, after that, we started dating, and I didn't want him to come to my house because I have kids, and I wasn't ready for him to meet my kids and stuff like that. And I didn't have my apartment yet. So he was telling me that I couldn't come to his place because he lived on base and shit like that. And that was a bold-faced fucking lie, but we gonna get to that later. So he decided to rent a hotel. So he rented a hotel room, and he was like, we just gonna spend the day together at the hotel. And I was like, okay. So I asked my mom to watch my kids, and from that morning until that night, we were at the hotel together. And he was working, and I was just basically there chilling, watching TV with him. um we were just chilling, and we had a really nice time. And it was just so different. I was not expecting him to be genuinely attracted to me and my body, um and stuff like that. So um he spoke a lot of, like, okay, he poured a lot of love into me, if that makes sense. Like, he helped me appreciate my body after my previous relationship broke me down so much. I didn't feel attractive. I didn't feel wanted. I didn't feel beautiful. Um, so, I had a hard time loving myself, so I kept myself covered. And, with my ex, he did not make me feel beautiful at all. He did not make me feel wanted. And it was such a different transition to dating Frozo, because he basically poured so much love and attention and admiration into me. He constantly called me beautiful. um he actually told me to, it was one time he made me like take all my clothes off. He made me take all my clothes off, and he sat there next to me and like talked about how beautiful my role was right here, and how beautiful this was, and how this was, and just basically giving me a lot of confidence. So I became more open with myself because of him. He helped me like tap into my sexier side, if that makes any sense. Because he, like I said, he poured so much love and admiration into me. It was a good feeling. So um, it's obvious that we had a sexual relationship, because we dated for almost a year. We dated a while. It was a while. Um, so yeah, we dated for a while, and it was crazy. So he started to get a little bit possessive over me too. Like, he would be on my Instagram a lot, and sometimes he would reply back to every dude who commented on my page. Like, every dude who commented on a certain photo, he would reply back. And I was like, why do you do that? Like, what is that? And he's like, I will beat all these niggas' asses. Like, he was just like very possessive over me. Like, he didn't want me talking to nobody. He didn't want me, he wanted me all to himself, is pretty much what I'm trying to say. So, every time we would meet each other, we always met, like, if we wanted to spend time together instead of like going on a date or something. Like, sometimes we would go to the beach, we would go to Starbucks, we would just walk on South Beach, um, stuff like that. We would go to the park. But if we wanted to like spend time together, he would get a hotel room. So, we would go to these very expensive like hotels, and it was like, it was really nice. He always like went all out when it came to the aesthetics. Like, he always wanted us to to spend time in a like really nice place and stuff like that. And so like we would always be like up high looking over water or something like that. And like I really enjoyed my time with him. So I started to fall in love with him a couple of months because I was fighting it. I was fighting it because we hadn't really established what we were at this point, but I felt like he was so beautiful. Like I felt like he was such a beautiful person, and I started to fall in love with him. So I didn't tell him though. I didn't tell him until it was February 13th, the day before Valentine's Day. I was expecting to spend it with him, but he was telling me that he had to work and all this other shit, right? No, uh, it was February 10th. My bad. February 10th. And we were together that day, and he was on live on his Instagram, and I was laying on his back, and he's talking to all these different people on live, and I'm laying on his back. So I didn't think much of it. I thought, okay, like he on live, I'm on his back, people could probably see me, like, so him not be, I guess we're official or whatever the case is. um it was a strange thing, but he was on live and I was laying on his back. So um after he got off live, we watched TV, held each other, stuff like that. And I had told him that I loved him, but he didn't hear me. And I didn't want to repeat it because I was afraid. Like I was scared. I was like, I'm not gonna repeat it. So yeah, and that same day, like he took like pictures. He took pictures of me because he's also a photographer. So he took pictures of me, and he was like threatening me, telling me if anybody else take pictures of me, um, he was gonna beat my ass and shit like that. Wait, what did he say? He said if anybody else take pictures like this of you, we gonna have a serious fucking problem. I didn't stutter, and I was like, no, like no. He was like, okay. Like he was like very, like I said, he was very possessive of me. Like he threatened to fight my store manager one time. Like he was just really possessive of me. So a part of me didn't understand it at first. So it was February 10th, like I said. And then February 13th came along, and I was on Facebook, minding my fucking business. And I'm scrolling, and I see a people you may know, and who pops up but Frozo. So I clicked on it, of course. I looked through I was going to send him a friend request, and I had looked through his page or whatever. And I see this woman with his last name. She commented on something. But the comment kind of, I was just like, let me see. I click on her page, and it says, married to Frozo. And it's like my whole world just fucking stopped. I was like, wait, what? So I refreshed the page and I'm like, this this can't be right. What? So I called him. And you know what's funny about this? I called him and my conversation was actually recorded with him, because at that time I was doing Uber and I was recording my phone calls whenever I did Uber, but sometimes I would forget to turn it off. So this conversation that I had with him was actually recorded. Um, but if I post that conversation, y'all are gonna know who he is. Even though I said it already, but his voice is very distinctive and you're gonna know who I'm talking about, and I don't want to do that because then I don't want him calling me trying to fucking cuss me out because I put our business out there. But I don't care. So here we are. So I called him and I was like, hey, I gotta talk to you. And he was like, I'm teaching a class, what's up? And I was like, hold up, just. He was like, I'm teaching a class, what's up? I said, so, when were you gonna tell me that you were married? And he was like, that I was what? I said, that you're married. And then he got like real quiet for like a minute. And he was like, where'd you get that from? I said, it don't matter. Are you married? And he's like, where'd you get that from? Like where you heard that from? And I said, I was on Facebook. I said, you came on as you came across as a person I may know, so I clicked on your profile and then I saw your wife. And he was like, hold up, I gotta wake my daughter up. All right, so he's like, where did you get it from? Where did you hear it from? So he was like, it's not what it seems. It's not what you think it is. And I was like, you're fucking married. And he's like, let me go back to this class and I'm gonna call you back. I said, no, don't call me back. I don't want to talk to you. I'm done. He's like, but you don't even know what's going on. I said, I don't give a fuck what's going on. And I was crying. Like, I was just so hurt because I'm just like, soon as I fall in love with this fucking bitch ass, bitch made ass, bitch nigga, I find out he's married. We've been dating 8 months at this point, okay? And he's married. So I was just crying, and um I called my best friend Trina and I was telling her. She was like, no, no. I was like, yes, bitch, he's married. Like, I knew something was off because he just seemed too perfect. I fucking knew it. I knew it. It was something. I knew it. So he called me back and he was like, you know, I initially got on that site to just find like a one and done type of thing, but then I really started to develop feelings for you. Like, you're so sweet and I love the person that you are, and blah blah blah. And then he telling me how he's not happy in his marriage like that. You know, if it was like that, then he wouldn't, have met me. It wouldn't have been a place for him to have met me and shit like that. And I was just crying because I'm just like, I can't believe this. Like, so I was gonna leave him alone, but he didn't want me to. He said, so you really, like, you're gonna just leave? Like, you're not gonna, give me a chance to talk to you? I said, do y'all live together? Yes. I'm not doing this. Like, I'm not doing this. So I was so hurt. I was so fucking hurt. And then I hung up on him. He called me back and he was just like, I understand that you're upset, but please don't just throw this away over a misunderstanding. I'm like, your marriage is not a misunderstanding. Like, I fucking loved you, bitch, and I find out a day before Valentine's Day that you're married. You motherfucker. So, that next day, he called me again and he was like, hey, beautiful. I'm like, hi. He's like, I know I'm the last person you want to talk to, but if you would just like hear me out, let's get like coffee or something, and we could talk, and I could tell you everything. I could tell you everything you want to know. And I was just like, I don't know if I want to do that. And he's like, please, just don't cut me out just yet. Like, just hear me out first. And so I'm like, fine. Because again, I loved this man, okay? I loved him. So he told me a place where we could meet at after he got out of school, and I met him there. um he saw me and he was like, damn, you're gorgeous. And I was like, how do you too? So he was limping because he had broken his tendon, his Achilles tendon, and he had surgery. So he was kind of using that like as a way to garner some sympathy from me. So, we were walking around and we were talking or whatever, and he was mad at me for some of the stuff that I was posting on my Facebook page that he felt like was directed towards him. And he was like, you was taking big ass boulders and just throwing them at my ass. Like, damn. I'm like, like, I have a right to feel how I feel at this point, And so he's telling me that, it's not what I think it is, and, to just give him a chance and not leave him. He didn't want me to leave him. I said, I just really don't, like, what is it then? Like, what is it? He's like, I can't really get into details about what it is, but it's not what you think it is. And so I'm like, uh-huh. So then he took me to GameStop, and he knows that I love video games and comic books and stuff. So he was trying to take me to places that he knew that I loved, and was trying to butter me up pretty much so I wouldn't leave him. So we went in there and he was like, we went in GameStop, and I had got a game because he wanted me to play this game with him, and I hated it, by the way. But he wanted me to play this game with him. He was like, I hope you don't just throw away what we built. And we're not only lovers, we're friends. And I don't want to lose that with you. And I'm just like, you gotta give me something else. Like, what is it if it's not what I think it is? And so he never wanted to explain it to me, but he also said he did not want me to leave him. And he said, would I at least think about it? And I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know. So I I couldn't believe it. I was just like, something fucking told me that it was something off with him. Like, I knew it was something off with him. And I just couldn't put my fucking finger on it. So when I was leaving, he starts saying, I can't touch you because I'm in the doghouse. He's like, but I just want you to know that you're fucking gorgeous. And, I would sop you up with some fucking butter right now. And I wanted to laugh, but I didn't want him to see me laugh. Like, because he always made me laugh. He's an Instagram comedian. But he was like, I would sop you up with some butter right now. Like, you look so gorgeous. You're so beautiful and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, whatever. So I left, and he starts texting me like, I hope you give us another chance, and you know just bear with me and understand that it's really not what you think it is, and this, that, and the third. So I thought it over, and I was just like, I don't know. Like, I love him. He telling me that it's not what it seems, and he really, like, does not want me to leave him. So I was thinking about it, and I thought about it, and then I blocked him on everything. And he realized that I blocked him, and he called me and was like, you block me? And I was like, yes. He was like, hey, you really blocked me? Come on. He was like, unblock me. And I was like, why should I? He was like, just unblock me. Unblock me. He was like, why would you do that? He said, I mean, if I can't have you, can I at least look at you? And I was like, Frozo, like, I don't, he was like, unblock me. So he begged me to unblock him. And I was like, okay. He was like, don't block me no more. Like, shit. And he said, we don't just go around blocking people. He was like, I know you're mad at me, but like, don't block me. Don't block me out like that. And so I was just like, man, it was just so much bullshit. Like, he was just so full of shit. So after I had thought about it, I decided to continue my relationship with him. Why? Because I'm dumb, and two, because I loved him. So yeah, I continue my relationship with him. And he kept telling me that it was not what I thought it was, and it was something different. And one day he would explain, and this, that, and the third. So I took his word for it, and I was like, he must actually love me. If he's, doing this, he has to really love me. So I took his word for it. So we continued to date, and it was pretty much the same with us. When I took him back, though, he was like really happy. He felt like it was almost like he just felt relieved that I would give him another chance. So I met up with him at the mall, and when I saw him at the mall, he would not stop hugging me. He would not stop kissing me. He was just like, I was really scared that you were gonna leave me, and I'm glad that you're stepping out on faith pretty much, and giving me another chance. And I was like, well, it's hard because I love your dumb ass. So, yeah. So, we were talking and everything, and it's crazy, man. We were talking and everything, and he was happy I took him back. So after that, the whole thing with him being married and me not entirely knowing the situation started to bother me. And I would ask him questions about it, and he would just kind of evade the questions and be like, I don't really want to talk about that, or whatever the case is. So I didn't want to like press him, but I wanted answers. So one day I called him and I was like, you need to answer these questions for me. Like, if you knew that you were married and you had no intentions on, you know, having a real relationship with me, why did you start it? He was like, like I said, when we met, it was supposed to be a one and done type of thing. But, like, you're a great person, and I started to really like you. So it just went from there. And I mean, I didn't mean to develop. We can't help who we fall in love with. And we can't help who we love, and stuff like that, and who we're destined for, and things of that nature, he used to say to me. And so he was like, yes, I'm married, but it's not, he said, it's not what you think. And I don't want to bad talk anything, or things like that. Like, I don't want to do that. So, like, I don't really want to tell you what it is. He said, but I promise you, it's nothing how you think. And so I decided to believe him. And I tried not to let it bother me, but it kept bothering me. And so I decided to sleuth. I decided to start looking around and stuff like that. And so I ended up breaking up with him before Christmas. And before Christmas, was his, no, after, I think after Christmas or New Year's, I can't remember. His sister had gotten married, right? His sister had gotten married, and he sent me a photo of him in his uniform, and he said, Happy New Year's, baby, I miss you, or something like that. And I told him, I said, I miss you too. And so we met up with each other after New Year's, and he was like, I can't believe you tried to leave me during the holidays. He was like, you had me fucked up, and I was just, I was so sad and missing you and stuff like that. And I was like, you just, this whole situation, like, I don't like it, but it's like you won't tell me more for me to understand. So I spent that day with him, and then I went home and started sleuthing and doing some research. So I went through his sister's page, and I saw pictures of her wedding and stuff like that, and he gave her away. And then I saw pictures of him and his wife, and they looked kind of happy together. And I was like, for somebody who ain't, all happy in his marriage, y'all look pretty fucking cozy here, right? Then, it was another picture. He had this African type shirt made or whatever, and he came and saw me in that fucking shirt. We were together that day when he had that fucking shirt on. And then I looked on his wife's page. She had the matching dress to the fucking shirt. So you mean to tell me that the day that y'all took these fucking pictures, you left from with her wearing the matching outfits to come and be with me? So I screenshot that and I sent it to him. I said, you lying bitch, for you to not be so fucking happy in your marriage, y'all look cozy as fuck right here. I'm not finna do this. You not finna do this. You ain't finna treat me this way. I deserve better than this, you lying motherfucker. So he was not he didn't respond, because he was just like, my feelings are hurt, like, that's, my feelings are hurt and blah blah blah. He didn't respond to the messages I sent. He just said that my feelings are hurt. So we stopped talking for a while, but it's so hard to fall out of love with someone. So I wrote him one day, just see how he was doing. And we ended up talking again. And it's almost like I just could not get him out of my head, because I just felt like he could have been my soulmate. And that's so strange. I felt like that, but I knew it wasn't. I said, if it was something that was supposed to be, he would not be married. This would not be the scenario. And so, that's how I was able to pull myself away from him, because this is not a good foundation to start a relationship on. And he never told me whether or not he was going to divorce his wife. He never told me if he was going to leave her. or things like that. And it just never sat right with me. Every time I would question him about it, he would just, it's not what it seems, it's not what it seems, it's not what it seems. And I would just be like, then what the fuck is it? What the fuck is it then? You know? It's so crazy because even now I sometimes find myself missing his friendship because it's so easy for me to understand why he's married, because he's very charming. He has a way with his words, which is, he always know what to say. He always know what to say, and he always know what to say to get you. And that's how he always kept sucking me back into the relationship when he didn't want me to leave him. And like I said, he helped me to love myself more. He helped me to be more free with my body and stuff like that because of the love he gave me. And that's one thing I do appreciate him for. He helped me love myself when I was like really unsure of myself. I didn't think I was good enough for him. I didn't think this, I didn't think that. And so he poured a lot of love and admiration into me, and that helped me kind of get out of my box, and just kind of blossom a little bit. So that's probably the only good thing that came out of that relationship. uh I think about him. I think about him, and I try to reach out and see how he's doing and stuff, and it's more so because of my appreciation for him helping me find myself, which is why I try to reach out. I don't try to reach out like on a romantic level, more so on a friendship type of level. But he never, for some reason, he is mean to me. And that's so crazy because when I tried to leave that bastard alone, he wouldn't let me. He wouldn't let me. He just, you know, continued to try to talk. He kept trying to talk. And like I said, he has a way with words. He always know what to say and how to say it to keep you engaged and to keep you there, and he knows how to use his fucking words. So yeah, I didn't think I would ever tell this story because I asked him if I could talk about it, and he said no because he didn't want nobody knowing his business and things of that nature. Even though I changed his name, I did say his real name in my live stream. Um, but I don't care, because he didn't care about my feelings. He didn't care about how it would make me feel. And yeah, so I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, that's basically what happened. I went on a date with the Instagram comedian who turned out to be fucking married.